Uh, Ellen, you are now live.
Okay,
Have a great
thank
day.
you. Hi, it's Ellen Shapiro, and we are going to be having a class in a few minutes, Get Moving with Qigong. So while we're waiting for the class to come in, if you think you would like to practice along with us, then just want to have some clothes you can move freely in. And we usually practice Qigong barefoot or in socks. I am in my body now. I am on my fundamental living now.
Hi, Ellen.
Hello,
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, thanks for asking. So, I'll be your TA for the whole time. So if you
Okay,
need anything, just call my attention, okay?
okay. So should I make you co-host then?
That would be perfect. Thank you. And I'll just be working in the background. So I'll be
Mhm.
moderating the chat. So
Right.
if there are questions that are missed, I'm gonna call your attention and
Okay,
read the question to you. Okay.
that's great. Yeah.
Also, the attendance will be sent after the class. I will send it to you through Slack. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. So I'll just be in the background. People will start coming in a few minutes. So
Yeah. Will you
yeah.
start the recording or should I do that?
Actually, yes, you can, and I can do that as well. I will confirm if the recording has started.
Okay. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get Moving with Qigong. We'll get started in a minute. We're just letting people in.
Are you going to stop doing Monday and change it to Friday?
Why? Did you see that in the schedule?
Yeah,
Really?
I think it's the 30th of April, Friday. It's on at 12 a.m. 12:30 a.m. And I thought, wow, I can't do that. That's too late for me. So it's
I don't know. I'll have to check my schedule. I wasn't aware of that.
have a look, because it definitely says Friday, and it says, I'm sure it's the 30th. I should have written it.
Yeah, let's see. Well, today's the 20th, and it's a Tuesday, so 23rd is a Friday. The 30th is a Friday. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to check. Thank you for pointing that out
And
to me, because
It said
I mean-
12:30 a.m. because I'm in England, and 12:30 a.m. would be, I wouldn't finish till 1:30 a.m. And I thought, wow, I can't do that. It's just too
Yeah.
much.
yeah,
Check it, yeah, strange.
I'll have to check into that. I gave them a schedule a while ago, but sometimes they change things around a little, but I was not aware of that. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. You can't hear anything. It may be your volume may be off on your computer. Janice, you could hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then, Pamela, it's an issue on your end, and you'll have to figure that out. Let's see. So we do have Phil is here from Get Set Up as our teaching assistant. If you need anything from him, just type it into the chat. And, technical stuff around Zoom. It's perfectly fine that you said you couldn't hear me and you're letting me know, because it's very important. But anything like that, once I start teaching, he'll help you out with that. Okay, so people are still coming in, but I'll just introduce myself to anyone that might be new to me or to this class. I'm Ellen Shapiro, and I teach Qigong, and I teach Ageless Grace here at Get Set Up. And I'm excited about a new class that I had proposed a while ago and is now on the schedule. And we're trying it out, and I hope that some of you will be interested in that as well. And that is a class on using touch, of course, on ourselves, because we're all in our own places, touch and visualization for self-healing. So it's you. If you've come to my class, you know, my Qigong classes, you get a little taste of that kind of information because I'll bring in, sometimes we do some tapping or working on ourselves in some way besides the Qigong itself. But this will be more of a class devoted to that and for healing. And we'll see how many people are in that class, but my plan is to customize it. You know, people are telling me what's going on with them. I'm going to try and address that in the class. So let me start our recording here. All right. So we are now recording. This is Get Moving with Qigong with me, Ellen Shapiro, coming to you from Santa Fe, New Mexico, here in the United States, where it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I know everybody's in a different place, in a different time zone. And in our Get Moving with Qigong class, I don't give as much introduction. I also teach a Qigong for Beginners class where I give a little more explanation and there's some slides. Here, it's just more of a movement class. So let's see, what do I want to say here? So Qigong, if you're brand new to Qigong, don't worry about that. Even if you're not in the beginner's class, you'll enjoy the class and get a benefit from it. But Qigong is the building and the cultivating of the Qi. What is Qi? That is our energy. Some people call it your life force energy, your vitality. It's that energy that is behind, that gives the power really to every function in the body. So thinking, speaking, digestion, breathing, healing wounds, all of these things. When we have Qi and we have vital energy, everything works better. When our Qi is low or depleted, things don't work as well. So that's a very, very brief introduction to what Qigong is. And it's an aspect, it's movement, but it's an aspect of Chinese medicine. So a lot of the principles, basically all the principles in Qigong are the same principles in Chinese medicine. It's gentle and low impact. It can be done in a chair. If you have weakness in your legs, if you're just coming off being sick, or for any other reason you find it too taxing to be standing, because we stand basically in one place on our body weight, those are all reasons to practice in a chair. And if that is you, please don't feel badly about it. It's what you need right now to support you in the practice. And as you get healthier and stronger, you may not need it, but don't think of it as a weakness or a deficiency. It's just simply, this is what I need to get, you know, to be able to practice right now. I need this extra support. We practice barefoot or in socks usually. And if you're in socks, make sure you're just not going to slip on the floor, have some kind of traction. I like cushioning. I practice on a carpet and a yoga mat on top of that because I like to have something a little bit softer under my feet because I'm on a hard tile floor here. So you adapt that for yourself. And for the warm-ups, you may want to have, even if you're not going to practice in a chair, I recommend having a chair handy. You can just get a folding chair, something you can easily move and keep it nearby. If that's not feasible for you where you are, don't worry about it. I'll show you other ways of doing it. And for some people, if you have like you're near a ledge, like a countertop or something like that, that you can lean on for the warm-ups, you can use that. Okay, so let's get up and get ready to move here. We are being recorded, just to say. We are also on the live stream. So if anyone is watching on the live stream, welcome, enjoy, practice along with us. And better yet, sign up for the class. Then you can ask me questions directly. And yeah, and another guideline is to put me on speaker view. So you'll see my image large and everybody else small. If I'm in a small box, it's going to be hard to see me. And That's gallery view. So that's a setting on your end. So the class is being recorded and you can request a recording at the end after class is over. I'll put that right in the chat here. Okay, I hope you got your sound worked out, Pamela. Okay, so help@getsetup.io for the class recording. You will automatically, I've prepared some notes that go out after each class. You'll get that automatically. You will not get the recording unless you request it. And I do invite you to read the notes. I put a lot of information in there, including links to some other videos and a link to something else from me. So check that out. And all right, I think we're ready to practice. And I'm going to change my camera. Okay. And also, just for the sense of like togetherness and community building, it's really nice if you are willing to have yourself be seen, have your video camera on. I know some people are in situations where it's not possible, or maybe you have someone else in the house and you just want to have the background blank. But otherwise, it's nice to have the video on. So let's just take a minute just to like feel our bodies. All right, so bend your knees a little bit, let your tailbone sink down, get your feet a little wider. Breathe and just notice, where is my energy? And that if you're not used to tuning in on that level, it might seem like an odd question, but let me translate that. So do you feel like you're sort of up in your head, you're a little scattered, you're still thinking about something that just happened or something coming up, afterwards? Are you present? Are you here? So let's do something to literally like announce to the body, hey, come back wherever you've been. Bring the mind back, kind of like, calling a dog home who's been playing in the yard, or the kids calling them in from outside. So let's just do that now. So just take a breath and imagine you could just like pull everything in. So you're just like landing and arriving in your body. Good. And then just let's ground in a simple way. Just take your hands on the top of your head and just not pressing hard, but feel the contact as your palms come down your face, onto your chest. Don't be afraid to touch your own body here, coming over your belly, down your legs, and reaching down to where you can comfortably reach. May not be the floor, it may just be down here, that's fine. Good. So that's just a simple way to ground and bring energy down. Yeah. And let's feel our feet now, really focusing on those feet. So just lift a foot, just plant it down firmly. Lift the other foot, plant it down. I'll back up so you can see my feet. And bend your knees, and again, just sink. So when I say sink, I mean bend the knees and the tailbone drops a little bit. It's not a big bend, it's not way down here. It's just a little bit. And then take an inhale, roll your shoulders back, down and around. And reverse, roll them the other way, back, up, forward, and down. And let's just so we're going to do some warm-ups here. So first, just a gentle going up in like a half circle with your chin and it's really for your neck. So your face stays pretty much forward. And be gentle with the neck. And in general, we never want to force anything. And adapt the movements for your body. So if anything I do is too much or the body protests, do less, do it smaller, do it slower. Or if something's really feels like, not even going there, then just picture yourself doing it in your mind's eye. And believe it or not, that will actually help you. Okay, so let's do some more warm-ups here. Let's do some arm swings. So we're just going to first just let the arms just hang loose. And then I'm going to bend my knees a little bit and lift up and down. So the hands, palms are up when I come up. Palms turn and face out when I come down. Inhale up, exhale. We'll just do it pretty slow. And again, if your shoulders are tight, come down lower. You don't have to be up here. Lifting the chi up in the body, letting it flow down. Inhale. And now, if you have arthritis or any kind of restrictions in your shoulders, stay with this slow movement like this. Everyone else, we're going to go a little faster and a little higher, and we're going to bend the knees a little deeper. So inhale, exhale. And then slowly swing it out. Let's do a little bit of rotating. So lift the elbows. The easiest way to do this is to lift from the elbows back like that and go the other way. Inhaling. Open that chest. Exhale. Let everything contract in a little bit. Back like that and in like that. And let's just do some even subtler, this a little more subtle. I'm just going to turn my palms back and forth and try to relax the shoulders even though they are lifted. And then can you alternate? So this hand is down, this hand is up. Wow. It's a little brain puzzle here. All right, and then just let any tension go. And just as a general comment, it's very easy for us to get our shoulders up like that without realizing it, or just creating some tension up here. So one of the principles in Qigong is noticing your movement, becoming aware of how you're moving, and also avoiding the buildup of tension. So if you start to find yourself like that, just exhale, let it go. If you start to, because we're standing in one place, if you start to build up like tension or gripping in your toes, shake them out. And I'll do that a few times because I need that. But anytime you need to do that, shake it out. Okay, so speaking of shaking, let's do a little, this is another way where right now we're helping the chi flow more evenly in the body. And this activates this jiggling thing here. So I have, my foot's hasn't left the floor. I've just lifted my heel and I'm jiggling. And then take it and continue that movement. So I'm pressing into the ball of my foot. My heel is lifted and I'm just circling around. It's a pretty small circle. We don't have a big range of motion here. Then reverse, circle the other way. You should start to feel some opening up here as well as the knee and the ankle. Okay, and then plant that foot down firmly on the floor. Lift the other heel up and let's just jiggle that. Okay, and now circle that one around. So interesting, I happen to see it. I'm not as open on this side. You might notice sometimes the difference from one side to the other. Good. Okay, I want to do a little bit more to help us with our grounding today. So let's see, there are a couple of options. One way to do this is just to stay where you are, and you're going to practice pressing down on the ball of your foot right in the middle, lifting the heel, lowering the heel, rocking back and forth. Let's all do that. So this is just to bring our awareness, and when we're aware of something, like what they say is where your attention goes, the energy flows. So when we focus on our feet in the lower part of our body, that's where the energy is going to go. So, and all this is to help us stay grounded and stable. Okay. Here, I'll sit in a chair because it will be easier to see me. And actually, we really do all need to sit to do this one. This really can't be done standing. And you can sit on the couch or whatever. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to take, I've got my right foot here. If it's hard for you to get your foot up, you can even be down here. I have a stool here, which I could even, I'm just propping, right now I'm propping my foot on a stool, but you can't really see me that well, so I'll lift it up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is my right foot, I'm going to take my, let's see, take my left thumb, put it right in the middle, just below the ball of the foot, and I'm just kind of flexing my ankle, and I'm pressing into that point. This is mainly for that. And I'm stretching and circling my toes around. Okay, so the emphasis here is on this. This point is kidney 1. This is a grounding point. I'm just gonna, waking it up. I'm not trying to hurt myself. I'm just going, hello, Chi, 3 times. And then we do the other foot. So I've got my left foot up. I put my left thumb right into that place. Take my right fingers, and I'm just kind of, and this should just feel good. If it doesn't, you're probably doing it too hard or you're twisting something. So just do it smaller and gentler. So again, I don't always teach this, but this is a very good kind of self-massage. This is a little bit of what we're going to do in that class on Wednesday. And then 3 slaps, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And then you can just shake your foot off. All right. Let's do just a little bit more for opening the hips here, and then we'll go into our active Qigong practice. So get your feet wide, and I usually say this in every class, and the one class I forgot to say it, somebody had a question, so it made me realize I need to say this in every class, is when we're doing anything, but especially when we're doing the Qigong movements, but even right now, you want to be in your alignment. So if we're coming down like this, like straight down, here I want my knees to be right over my feet. I don't want my knees, the inside of my knees, I don't want it like that, because that's going to strain in here. I can't even show you the other extreme where your legs would be going out that way. I just can't physically do that, but that's the idea, is to position your feet so that when you come down, you're like that. So if I step a little wider here, I have to turn my feet out a little bit. I can't really keep them parallel. That's going to kind of make my knees go like that. So I have to turn my feet out a little bit. So again, listen to yourself, find your alignment with that. Okay, so let's just do some simple, I'm going to turn side to side. Notice this heel comes up a little bit. Just loose swinging motion, and then let the hand just land on the shoulder. And And then if you like, you can go lower, down, wherever your hands want to go. They can go higher up. Just play with it a little bit. And you can also do this. All right, slowing that down, and just my knees reminded me it's always important to do a little bit of warming up for the knees. So just rub your hands together. This is a quick Qigong kind of warm up. And then bring your hands down over your knees, up and down. You can rock back and forth if you want with your feet. Let's rub one more time. And this time, come all around. So circling around, inside, behind, making those knees feel nice and warm. All right. So now we're going to move into our active Qigong movements. And, you know, I'm teaching two different Qigong classes. So this class, Get Moving with Qigong, which I teach twice a week, and the Qigong for beginners. And people want to know what is the difference. So either class, it's not that one class is simple and one is advanced. The Qigong for beginners has a little more explanation, but it's just the way it's different is that in this class, in the Get Moving class, I'm teaching a sequence. So today we're gonna go through the yin balancing forms, and I'll show you that sequence. So that's really the only difference. You can practice, come to either class and get a benefit. So it's not that this is necessarily more advanced, it's just more of, again, I'm teaching a sequence of movements. Okay. So let's just bow in here. A simple bow is just acknowledging welcome to our Qigong practice, even though I've actually really already been in the practice space. And sometimes, you know, like things come to me for the class, and right before we started, my eye landed on something. I have all kinds of inspirational things around this house. So I thought I would read this to you. Just food for thought. There are no wrong decisions. There are only right decisions and lessons learned. So what if that was true? There's actually no wrong decision. There are only right decisions and lessons learned. So I thought that was an interesting question to contemplate. And then it says, if everything goes right, we get a good experience. If everything goes wrong, we get a good story. So, and Simon Sinek is the author of that quote. So, and that's something that I like to think about is it's not just what happens to us, it's the story we tell ourselves and the meaning that we make out of it. So just a little personal reflection and philosophy there. And Qigong itself, it's part of Chinese medicine. It also, like underlying Chinese medicine, is a philosophy of Taoism. It's not really a religion in the way that we usually think of a religion. It's more of like a perspective and a mindset, a philosophy, and it's really based on the ways of nature. So there's a lot of emphasis in understanding the cycles. Things have a beginning, a middle, and end. We have 4 seasons. Now I know some places don't seem like they have seasons, but there is like a growth pattern, right? So there's, in the spring, the seeds start to sprout. In the summer, everything comes to fruition. Then we have harvest in the fall. Then we have the late fall, which is like where the leaves come down, everything, the plants appear to go dormant and things look like they're dead. winter is the stillness, and then we have another cycle of growth. And we also have the rhythms of night and day. We have the moon and the sun. So the Taoist philosophy comes from observing that and looking at us. We're also part of nature. We also have our own internal seasons. And another principle is the yin and yang, which most people have heard of. And there's the well-known yin yang symbol that's like a black teardrop and a white teardrop nestled into it. And that's a symbol of yin yang, and that's associated with Taoism. So today I want to talk to you about the yin and the yang a little bit more and lead you in a Qigong practice that supports the yin. So what is yin? What is yang? So it's like these two polarities, but they're not actually really separate, because the minute, like at the darkest part of the night, the sun and the moon, everything is shifting around. So at the very most dark moment is when we're already starting to turn to the light. Just like at the height of summer solstice, like the most yang moment of the year, the longest day, the sun is, shining for a lot more hours. The next day, we're already starting the journey towards the winter solstice, which is the shortest day. On the winter solstice, it's the same thing. So life is about the movement, the flow of yin and yang. So you might see that in a Qigong form, like this is yin yang palm. My yang palm is reaching up to the sky or up to the sun, and my yin palm is reaching down facing the earth. The minute I get to the end, the yang palm turns and says, time to reach down and go into the yin. And the yin palm says, I want to become yang. I'm going to come up and reach up. So that's just one example of that. So we're constantly in this movement of up and down. Yang is up, yin is down towards the earth. Inward is more yin, outward is more yang, and so on. Hot is associated with the yang, cold with the yin. And then there's a lot of people associate the yin with the feminine and the yang with the masculine. But the truth is, we all have both, and we all need both. So if I'm just yin all the time, I'm very inward, I'm very quiet, I'm not engaged in the world if I'm too yin. If I'm very yang, then I'm like out there all the time, maybe I'm talking too much, I might burn my energy out. So we're always seeking some balance between the two. So this yin form is about supporting the yin. And our society is more biased towards the yang. Like, think about a classroom. Usually the student that is the most outspoken is the one that's going to get rewarded. The quiet one, not so much. So this is doing the yin form is a kind of a balance for that. It's saying, that place of quiet, calm, grounding, settling back into yourself is not weak. It's just a different kind of power. It's a different kind of energy. And if I don't have a yin root, so the yin connects us to the earth. If I don't have a yin root in my life, I'm going to be ungrounded, scattered. I might start a million projects and never finish anything. I might just like go until I collapse. So again, this form reminds us of that. And you may find it to be, I find it pretty warming and calming. So enough words, let's practice. And here we go. Okay, so we start out in this is just a Yin stance. So turn your feet slightly in towards each other. Heels are out. Just, it can be slight. You don't have to, exaggerate and torque your knees. And then take your hands. Feel the earth under your feet, looking down. And find that part of you that is the yin, that is a little more introverted or quiet. Just settling into that. Okay, and now relax your hands. Change your feet so they're straight and reach forward with your left foot. And where you want to be with this is that your feet are far enough apart that you're stable. If you feel unstable, probably you need to move your foot out a little bit more or just the angle. And from here, wrap the back of your right hand against your low back. We're going to reach forward and it's soft. I'm not really making a fist. I'm just gathering into my hand. I come behind. This is called wiping the pond. So it's the feeling of like smoothing out, wiping the surface of something. And we come back. Once more. It's not a big movement in the legs, but I do lean forward a little bit here. My front knee is bent as this hand comes back. And notice what my elbow is doing here. It's kind of leading the movement into here. This is our first form in the Yin series. And this corresponds to the liver and the season of spring. So like new beginnings. And it depends on, how much time you have to practice. Just given where we are in our class time, I'll do 5 repetitions of this. I think I have one more on this side. And then I'm going to bring this forward foot back. And now reaching forward with the other foot. And gathering chi. So we'll do 5 repetitions. So notice how I'm not really leaning, but I do come forward a little bit, gather, pull it back. Almost like the feeling here is like releasing spores. And it should be, I think you can see, just facing straight ahead. 3. In a full practice, we might do 9 of these, but just for the sake of time, we'll do 5. Okay, bring that foot back. Good. Let's move into our next form. And this one is flame shaping is the name of this form. So we'll come up to here and just hands come back behind you. Notice the back of my palms come together. Then they turn and everything comes back to here. Up above the head, the hands meet. They come down. We turn, it's like this little kind of turn. Hands sweep back Again, backs of the hands, turning like that. And let me show you, you stay where you are for a second. Let me show you in a chair so you can just see more of my body. You don't need to be in the chair unless you want to be. Okay, flame shaping in a chair. So we come down here, hands turn, come behind. Oh, just spaced myself out here. Okay, so coming down. Up, hands turn, and from here, there's like a turn. And my hands, your hands just come straight back, but because of the chair, I have to go out a little bit wider here. And again, here's where I watch my shoulders. I'm doing it too, so you don't want that. Lower the shoulders, turning back to the self. And this is like almost ready for summer. And that height of expression. And then we're still in the yin, so we're not in full expression. We're still a little bit reserved, a little bit more internal in our movements. Let's do two more. Flame shaping. And then bring the hands back. We'll come up to standing to show you the next form. And just pause right here. Just put your hands like that. Okay. So we just came back from flame shaping. And now take your hands. I'll show you what I'm doing, but it's like that. So the thumbs meet. And you're making kind of a diamond shape here. You're looking down into it. And then you're going to turn slightly, and you can turn that foot, even the other foot if you need to. And now you're looking down at that diamond. And now release it. And the hands are parallel, and they're coming like that. Two circles around. We come to here. And we turn, and the feeling here, well, I'll show you again. So two circles, and kind of coming around either side of the leg. And imagine that you're holding a bucket of water and you don't want it to spill. You're holding the handle, and now here, and then you can let go of that image. And imagine now you just have a ball of chi between your hands, and this movement is planting it down into the earth. So the feeling here is walking the bear, is the energy of a bear when it's not charging, right? It's just moving slowly and close to the earth. So if you can let the hands be not limp, but soft, not rigid. I had a friend who would sometimes talk about a body worker, and I told her hands were like butter. So can you have butter hands? And feel this is like the squirrel is digging the earth to plant his acorns. That's the feeling here. This is associated with the fall, this movement. Actually more like harvest time. Let's do one more on each side. So notice I do have to bend this leg a little bit to do this. It's not a big bend. Okay, coming back to here now. And you get your feet a little bit closer together. Well, you need to see them. Okay, bringing your hands up to here now. And let me just demonstrate one, and then we'll do the whole set together. So we start this movement with just a little, like imagine your hands are like tall grasses swaying in the wind. A few times. And now I'm going to turn and come up, and I'm gazing sort of like not directly behind me, but sort of to an angle. My hands come back down. The lower hand is like it's got a string pulling the upper one. I turn, and now this lower hand is like pushing the other hand up. And I look the other way. And you want to make sure you have a pretty good stable stance and come back. So that was just a demonstration. Let's do it together now. Okay. So when you turn, again, be mindful of your body and your degree of openness. You may just want to do a small version. See what you can do. And make sure you use this foot. You can lift the heel, but use it to stabilize you. And you can move the foot as you need to. Okay. Here we go. Just that feeling of the grass in the wind. And now turning to the right, I come up. And so there is a twist in the torso, and that's kind of the basic core of this form. And now just like drawing, and I look slightly to the back. So that's the most important aspect of this form, is when you get a twist in the torso. But it doesn't have to be big. It's more important to make the twist at a level that you're not going to lose your balance. This is called eternal winging. And there's that feeling of flight. It actually makes me think of the geese as they make their flight south in the fall. See, this form is about the late fall. You might even think of this as falling leaves. It's not the easiest form, but it's very beautiful, I think. And watch what happens. So it's like my lower hand is making a breeze and lifting the upper hand. And now that lower hand is calling the whole body back down. Okay. Bring the feet closer together. We'll finish with the same waving and weaving of the movements. And then let your hands just settle here. Okay. So this is called the Yin balancing or the Yin strengthening form. And it has 5 different movements in it that correspond to the seasons and the elements in Chinese medicine. So they consider like early fall or late summer as one season, and then the autumn as a separate season. So you have a form in this cycle for each season. This is the winter form for the kidneys. This is called Effortless Rowing. So watch what I'm doing. I'm bringing my hands up. They're making light contact with the body. They start to come up like that. And my pelvis is going to tilt forward a little bit. I'll show you that from the side in a minute. Okay, so let me show you that. Okay, so bend the knees. Breathing in, the hands come up. My pelvis tilts forward a little and I look to one side. So I'm looking to the right and then my head comes back as everything comes down. And then we'll do the same thing, only looking to the left. So bending the knees, that pelvis tilts slightly forward, hands come up. Now I look the other way, and then I turn the head and everything comes back down. So this form should just feel very like quiet. It's not big, dramatic, anything. Inhaling as the hands move up the body and then they come off the body here. All right, let's do a few more of those and see if you can sink into this feeling of stillness here. Let's do one more to the right or whatever. So your last side. And we close this set with the same way we started. So the feet, the toes slightly in towards each other, the heels slightly out, arms like that. Feeling that beautiful quality of the yin, just calm inward, no drama, no action required right now. And then just coming back to here, and we'll close just one hand and then the right hand. So the left hand on the body, then the right. And close your eyes and see how are you feeling now? Notice. Do you feel a little more grounded, a little more calmed down, a little more internal, or what do you notice? And without judging it. Good. Good, good. So I'll take questions and other things in a minute. I just thought it would be nice to close with one more movement. Just all of Qigong is like a kind of it's like an energy bath, so it helps you to release toxins and other stuff from your body. And we'll finish, sometimes, I don't know if you ever do this, but sometimes after I take a bath, I shower off. So that's what we're going to do here with our Qi. This is called showering Qi. So bending the knees, hands are here, inhale. Almost shoulder height, my hands turn and lower, exhale. Another inhale overhead. Hands moving down through your energy field, through your Qi field. A few inches out in front of you. Offering to the earth. And let's do one more. And I'm sinking down a little bit here too, not just in the knees. Inhaling, exhale. Another inhale overhead. Exhale. And coming to Dantian, left and then right covering. Bring your feet together. And we'll just bow out of the practice together with a simple bow. Thank you so much for practicing with me today in our Get Moving with Qigong class. So we have a few minutes left in which you can ask questions or share anything about your experience or how you're feeling now. And remember, you need to unmute to speak, or you can type into the chat questions or anything you want to share from today's practice. Okay, it looks like a pretty quiet group. Good, I'm glad you feel relaxed. So yeah, that's usually most people feel relaxed after any Qigong practice, but this Yin practice it's both grounding, calming, and helps you to become more internal. So we do this form a lot in the winter, which is a Yin season, but we can do it anytime where it's like too much stimulation, too much out there. And sometimes even though like life has been a lot more internal, right? I mean, our whole lives have been more Yin. But now I feel an energy, maybe you do too, in the spring. Spring is the first Yang season. And there's like, I don't know, there's like wanting to get out there and all that, which is great. But this is just a way to balance that out. So any questions about the forms or anything at all? And otherwise we will wrap it up for today. So it is Tuesday. I teach this Qigong, Get Moving with Qigong on Tuesday and Thursdays. Generally, I'm going to have to check my own schedule and make sure I'm up to date with it. And we'll be doing on this Thursday, we'll be doing the morning medical series, little different Qigong movements. And Qigong for beginners, I teach on Monday and Thursday also. I'm teaching Ageless Grace twice a week. That is more dance-like. It's actually, people have been reminding me, it's actually a pretty good chair workout. It's done in a chair. It's good for your brain, but it's also cardiovascular and core fitness. And it's more fun and playful. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Patricia. Yeah, so that's Ageless Grace. I teach that on Wednesday and Saturday. And I have this new class on self-healing through touch and imagery. So that will be like learning and practicing some things, but it's also going to be like receiving a healing session from me. It's kind of what that class is going to be like. And it's going to evolve depending on what people ask me for and what people need. So thank you all for being here. If there's no more comments or questions, then we will wrap it up for today. Yeah, very good. I'm glad, Berna. And remember, if you liked this class, you can always get the recording and practice again with the recording or come back to class. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see everyone. And
Thank you. Thank you.
you're very welcome. Take good care, everyone. And remember to drink some water. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.